Hi, I'm Jeff Knox, Educational Counselor at Prep Matters. Let's talk about those standardized tests you'll have to take for private school, the SSAT, the ISEE, and the HSPT. Seeking admission to private school can be just as challenging and stressful as trying to get into college. Many middle and high schools have admission rates that are comparable to some of the most selective universities in the country. Although virtually all private schools pride themselves on conducting a holistic review of their applicants, which means they will take a look at everything and consider everything that you include in your application package, there's no getting around the importance of highly objective data that students must present, and that includes test scores. The SSAT, which stands for Secondary School Admissions Test, and the ISEE, which is the Independent School Entrance Exam, are for most private middle schools and high schools. The HSPT, the High School Placement Test, is for only Catholic high schools despite its generic sounding name. Some schools accept only one type of test while others will accept multiple types. It's important that you can contact the specific schools you're applying to see which tests are accepted. Because you could have more than one option, it's best to understand each test so that you are fully prepared on test day and so you can compare them to see which one is right for you. Because there is a lot of information about each test, we've broken up this information into 3 videos. Each focuses on one test. Let's start with the SSAT. This 2-hour and 35-minute test consists of 4 sections: verbal, math, reading comprehension, and a writing sample. The verbal section will test you on vocabulary using synonyms, antonyms, and analogies. The math section will include arithmetic, algebra, and a bit of geometry, depending on the level of the exam. For the reading section, you will answer questions on 7 reading passages. The writing sample is an essay that you will have 25 minutes to write. While it's ungraded, a copy of your written essay will be sent directly to the schools for them to read and consider as they conduct their holistic review of your application. There are multiple test dates available for the SSAT, so it's possible, and sometimes a good idea, to take this test more than once. I mentioned that the SSAT has different levels. Depending on your grade and school, you will take a certain level of the SSAT. The elementary level is for students in grades 3 and 4. The middle level is for students in grades 5, 6, and 7, and the upper level is for students in 8th grade or higher. Realize that means that students in 5th grade are taking a test that's also designed for 7th graders. 8th graders are taking a test that juniors in high schools are taking. So if you're a student at the bottom of these levels, don't be disheartened by the difficulty of some of the questions you'll surely encounter. Fortunately, your results are broken down into percentiles, so in other words, your performance will be compared to that of only students of the same grade and gender, not students who have a few more years of schooling than you. One important thing to remember about the SSAT is that there is a penalty for choosing the incorrect answer. You will earn 1 point for getting a question right, but you will lose 1/4 of a point for getting it wrong. If you leave it blank, then you neither gain nor lose a point, so sometimes there's an advantage to skipping a question. That is not the case for the next test, the ISEE, which I will describe in part 2.